Good morning, land of YouTube. This is Donnie Caustic. As always, a really bright backdrop, huh? I think it's fascinating how the phone picks up things in so much more, like, it's not subtle like my eyes see the sky as a subtle shade of gray. And the phone's like, full volume, motherfucker, because I see things you don't. And then at the same point in time, the phone really can't quite capture some of the things my eyesight can. And so I'm, really intrigued by that. But today's probably the only video that I premeditated in the term of having planned today's topics, or two of them at least. And the first one is harm reduction. And basically, I think about things because, well, first of all, you're worth it. And I know that for myself. So harm reduction could look like, creating boundaries in a relationship that's harmful. Because to stand up for yourself and you're worth it, right? And that could be even like a relationship with your fucking drive to work, where you let traffic get to you and you start getting angry and you're basically fighting with yourself inside your vehicle, attempting to take it out on other people. And I just see that as maybe a phase I went through at one point, and I see it everywhere else, and it's kind of evident. I mean, I don't see it all the time, but I mean, there's everybody that gets in the car and has something go wrong and they're not, they're late for work, and then, they go crazy with anger and frustration. And I think that carries over from some other ill relationship, maybe, where, they didn't have healthy boundaries and, or they didn't know how to, fully express themselves in the moment, in which case, anger has its rightful place. But if you're a coward and you back down and you don't express your anger in the rightful place where it was supposed to be, then odds are you're going to take it out on somebody lesser than you the next day, 2 days later, or maybe even your children, because, well, they're little people and they're kind of powerless over the situation. And thank God that I learned at a young age not to do that. I learned from, in a really abusive relationship growing up with my father, that I never wanted to put a hand on a child or harm a woman, because I watched a lot of harm come to me and my mother at the hands of my father. And there was a lot of mental shit too. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm sure that there's got to be somebody listening to this video that can relate to a ton of different measures of self-harm. So I just wanted to basically, kind of get the idea planted that self-harm can look like a lot of different things. It could look like getting in a fist fight. It could look like, intentionally sabotaging yourself and spending all your money at the casino. It could look like not being in a position to do something, knowing you can't physically meet the requirements for it, and then doing it anyway. And that's also like fake it till you make it, or some such shit. Sometimes that works out because, somebody really has a desire to become something greater than, and they just go into the role blindly, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. Later on, they acquire the skills. They're there. They're running versus walking, and they skip the crawl stage. The crawl stage would have been actually learning about what it was first. Some people do that in life, even as a baby. They just go right upright. My beautiful daughter, she's 8 right now, Lucy. I love her to death. Such a brilliant young lady. Beautiful, brings love and light everywhere she goes, gets compliments constantly. I'm not bragging, I'm just stating it. Maybe I am bragging. Oh well. She's still beautiful. She's my daughter. I love her. Such a privilege to know that I helped shape that human being. And if I'm honest, I just got lost in thought thinking about my baby. So, if I'm really, really transparent, I know inside I would never do something intentionally to harm another human being unless it was in the right place, like a self-defense situation, in which case I will fucking defend myself. I would never lay a hand on a woman. But if that lady's coming at me with a knife and she's going to try to take my life or harm me and I can't run from it, because, you know, the best fight is the one you ran away from, right? The best fight is the one you never fought. Because the smarter motherfucker knows that there was no fight in the beginning. It's just stupid to fucking play these dumb games. And I look around at society and I see one big game on a different level. Every different level. And I'm like, okay, well, let's stop focusing a little bit outward on these game playings. And maybe take a look inside and practice harm reduction. Because if we start reducing harm to ourselves in every fucking aspect of that word, of harm reduction, 2 words, whatever. If we really do, and then we look at ourselves first, and then we start repairing and cleaning up the damage around us, it's most likely going to make people uncomfortable because, there's a chance that, or in my experience at least, there's older relationships that have a different version of me in their head. They're just like scars, so to speak. And those scars are really hard to fucking make not a scar. You can see it on your body. You have a scar, it lasts forever unless you get plastic surgery, which costs a lot. I mean, you can do that. You can't really get plastic surgery, so to speak, for older relationships that remember you as a different version of yourself. And every day we're new. And if we're not around those people all the time and they don't see that gradual transformation, and you come back at them and you're like full power, fucking headlights bright, guess what you end up with? Well, I end up with a deer in the headlights situation to where people don't really know what the fuck to make of it. I have a really big tendency to not slow down. My daughter, she skipped the crawling stage. She is a very brilliant little young lady. And she did like one day, I swear to God, one day, she did this little 3-legged, 1 drag, gimp crawl type thing. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? I thought she's gonna crawl, and she didn't. And then she went straight fucking upright. So she was born February 21st, 2014. By Halloween, and I'm not shitting you, I have a video by the 30th, the day before Halloween, of her walking across the living room and over a pile of laundry that I hadn't done yet without falling down. And she was just boop, 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 right over it. And as a parent, I was like, holy shit, please don't hit the sliding glass door with your face. And she didn't. So I think in a lot of other weird ways, maybe a harm reduction practice for me as a parent towards my baby would just be knowing that she's going to be okay, claiming that power, and watching it blossom in every day with her, because I helped shape her into the beautiful, smart, intelligent human being that she is. And she gets compliments. I'm not going to leave out my son. He's a very brilliant little guy too, and beautiful. And he's amazing. And he's only 4. And God, I don't know what I'm in for. If I've got me in another little form, I've in my own respect, through phases of my life, I've put my parents through shit. Probably that they didn't need to. Stress. I know that I have some grays coming in on the side. And I guess that's like wisdom streaks. Who knows? But harm reduction could be, if I'm getting back to the topic here, it can be a lot of different things. It can be not having something in your body that's unhealthy. And I'm back to another energy drink topic because, well, these things are good. For me, they're like rocket fuel. If you hear me talk, this is me without caffeine. Then I get caffeine. It may get a little worse. I get a little bit more focused, but that's me. Some people can down like fucking 3 24-ounce Red Bulls or Rockstars and be fine. I think that's over-medicated, kind of. But whatever. It's to each their own, right? Everybody finds a balance for what they can do in life, and then they go through life. Sometimes they just find a way to get by and survive. And then they're like a warrior that's been beaten down and just trying to survive, right? These are healthy warrior energy drinks. So, I would say, and I challenge everybody to look at their immediate surroundings and see maybe what kind of damage is going on as a direct result of maybe ownership, like not placing the right boundaries or not standing up for yourself in the right light. And I say right light as in the right time and place to stand up for yourself because you think something horrible is going to happen. And if you do, and it's a dangerous situation, don't do it because that's survival. You don't want to get harmed. And that's smart. But maybe you could teach yourself self-defense and then you're practiced and you're ready to go if something bad happens. I mean, if you stay dangerous, but you never have to use it, that's another really cool, profound aspect of life. It's not easy. It takes time. People grow up. Some don't. Some are just babies. They get up into a childlike mentality, and then they just get older. They don't really grow up. And I say that as in, they go out, they do their shit, they do their 9 to 5, they've got their life captured. It's a snapshot. They got the white picket fence. They got everything they need. And then the day comes that they're having a bad drive to work, and their boss was pissed off at them because they fell behind, and all these fucking papers are adding up, the bills at home, everything's fucking, and then that guy that's been good all his life turns and takes out his shit on a random mentally ill homeless person or a random passerby in traffic. And, well, he just happened to have a fucking firearm too. And so that guy just snaps, and then, boom, senseless loss of life. So the harm reduction could have been him dealing with the shit before it became a metaphorical Mount Everest underneath the water like an iceberg. And a tip-top little tiny thing would have been focusing on the here. Right here. First. So, harm reduction goes as far into drug usage. You can take, a quarter pound of aspirin and sayonara, you're not going to be here tomorrow. You're probably going to die. You could take 1.5 pounds of caffeine, which is also in here, and you pretty much are probably going to die. I think that's a lethal dose of caffeine. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have a slim chance of living if you take that much caffeine. You'll overdose. And so that's I'm just shaping the idea that, a lot of people are over-medicated sometimes. They don't even know it. And a tiny bit is a good idea. Currently, the only drug that I practice in my life is caffeine because, well, I mean, it's in coffee. It really gets me motivated in a faster mainframe in my head. And I like being fast. So to do this with an effortless ease and not really think about what I'm doing in life or in these videos, I just get a topic, right? I thought of harm reduction. That was my plan. And then I go with it. I don't have to think anymore. Everything is effortless. There is no roadblock in front of me. I'm certain that everyone can reach a state of mind similar to this and may have already been there. And in the respect of they've got their 9 to 5 covered. They're out there living their life to where they like it. what I'd like to do is push their envelope some, or whoever sees this and it hears the things I'm talking about, has some kind of identity inside of them that they see and they go, I need to work on that. Well, that's me pushing the envelope a little. And I like to fucking do that. It's my joy in life, because I know if I'm doing that everywhere I go, then maybe I'm helping humanity better themselves for humanity's sake. Because what it is to be human is often overlooked and lost in everyday life from day one. Our psyches are collected by every single experience. When you're little, you get an initial ow. Some kind of hurt. Some kind of really deep ow. Pain. Hurt. Mine came from nature. I remember getting stung by a yellow jacket, and then the fucker came back and stung me again. And I swear to God, it was almost in the right, same exact spot. And I remember getting stung again. I got stung 3 times in a row. I didn't like that. It hurt like shit. I remember like the first cut I ever had and how bad that shit throbbed. You know? The fun part is when you identify that you suffer some kind of ow from someone else, like an external source. Mine came from nature, so I have a weird relationship with nature, right? But nature's ruthless. So are people sometimes. Kids are ruthless. It's just our nature as humans. When I see this ow come from someone else, then I look a little deeper and I watch my life mirror out from that like a fucking spiral. It just goes out of control in a loop. And you keep experiencing the same kind of harm in another form. And it's one after the other. And you just go through, and once a year, some shit happens. Or, once a month maybe. Or once a day. And that's kind of like an addict mentality. So harm reduction with a lot of different drugs could be learning how to not use them, because you're really harming yourself first. Just like if you fucking punch a wall, you're hurting yourself and the wall. And then you're hurting the relationship with whoever owns the wall. So, the addict mentality would be to continually be experiencing that ow in another form, and maybe you're doing it to yourself. Filling a hole. Because, well, either it feels good, you've taught yourself to lie to yourself, and maybe you're just feeling good and you're masking up all these other toxic fucking emotions that you experienced at some point due to someone else, an external source. But then I look deeper and I know ownership. Even in almost every single situation as a child, I can look at my part in it and know that I had a strong influence in it. I didn't have everything. I didn't own everything. I didn't own someone's behavior that I observed towards another person completely. That was on them. So that was, in a sense, like learned behavior. Some people learn that kind of thing, and then they go and recreate it because it's all they know. I've never been like that. I looked at it as a possibility to grow and never experience it again. I looked at the whole time I started in a recovery setting when I was 19. I looked at the older people that were 50, 60, 70. Some came in and had thoughts of suicide because they had consumed a simple, harmless drug like marijuana their whole life up until 70. And in reality, it just became so much more concentrated and so much more powerful that it was fucking with their minds. So it's really more of a drug than a harmless plant. Concentrated forms are horrible, like 1.5 pounds of fucking, caffeine. Bad. Really super concentrated pot, probably not the greatest thing. Really harmless, weaker pot, probably good for some people. Not for me. I love the plant, it's beautiful. It's not for me, I can't have it. Back in the day, I think Native Americans probably just had the aroma going around, and maybe like a George Burns type thing. Didn't inhale, they just had the cigar in their mouth, Well, they probably just had the peace pipe in their mouth. And then white man comes along and they're like, we need to fucking suck that shit into our lungs to get the maximum benefit, bitch. And then, and now we farm pot. Or it's pot farming us. I mean, it's just funny that I think of it like that, because if pot is a carnivorous plant and it's consuming minds, it's fucking doing it. And then we're doing it. So are we in like some kind of symbiotic relationship with pot as a race right now around here, and then on a larger scale? Looking back 100 years, we were doing the same thing with alcohol in a different, so it's like 100 years ago, we did the same shit with alcohol, the roaring 20s. I mean, it's just the same shit in a different loop, in a different wrapper. I look at it like, yeah, like a different Snickers in a different wrapper, and I'm eating the Snickers. So give me some Snickers, give me some feedback. If you really watch this video all the way to 20-minute mark right now, I'd love it if I could hear, oh shit, there's a fox coming. Let's see if I can get this on camera, because if I do, it'd be super cool. A fox just ran across the road. There he is. Or no. You know what? That's a little coyote. I wonder if I got it. I just turned my camera around so I couldn't see. The miracles of being out in nature are so amazing. And then you see nature trying to struggle to adapt to what we've done to it, which is perverting nature. We're not content with living in a cave. We need luxury. We need fucking roads paved in gold, which is, you know, black gold, oil, tar, fucking road tar. So I'm walking on a path paved in fucking black gold. How about that shit? Okay, so backing up just a little bit more. And I want to go back to harm reduction one more time. And I do need feedback. So if anybody has any suggestions, maybe a topic that I can possibly address, or you think I can, or you want to challenge me to address, that'd be cool. And I'll just answer up in a video. If you have any feelings towards me that you'd like to express, I will read them and I will reply if necessary. But I will read all the comments. I'm looking forward to it, like learning your perspective. I'm not perfect, and I'm looking to always know that and always grow. With that being said, I think the final form of harm reduction would be realizing something along the lines of our relationships on every level. Just seriously, like the relationship I have with my walk and my plan to make a video. I mean, I didn't plan my video out. I just knew I was going to be walking and filming. So I make like a concrete decision, and then I watch how it's going to happen. As in, it just unfolds in front of me. So am I walking on my path, watching it unfold? Yeah, kind of. So reducing harm on a global scale would be looking something like putting a smile on your face and faking it until you make it. Even if you're not happy and you're having a shitty day, putting a smile on your face, and that guy that cut you off in traffic, waving at them and telling them that it's okay that they didn't see you. Not attacking them because, well, they were in a rush too and they didn't see you. And then even the guy that's an asshole and did it on purpose and gave you the middle finger, expressing some kind of love back. And then you look at that guy in that relationship. If you did that, he'd probably get more pissed off that you're not mad, because he was intentionally trying to make you mad. And then it's like, okay, dumb shit, go fuck yourself. I tried love. I mean, if it's really necessary for somebody to see what they need to see, then by all means, if it's appropriate and you feel comfortable, give that shit right back. I don't need to absorb that fucking shit. And you know, if you're dumb enough to not consider an act of kindness like me giving you space in traffic because I'm responsible and I know how to drive right, fuck. It's almost dumb that I don't even focus on it anymore. I don't see it anymore in traffic. I've just gone through it. So I'm sharing something as a measure to try to relate on different levels. And I do not have any experiences like that. I'm actually more along the lines of there's no obstacles, which is weird for me to say that. Like, everything is almost just effortless. I haven't even touched this fucking thing yet. In any case, I changed my nails. They're a little bit different. I'm just expressing myself in a way that I've never done it before. And I think everybody is in different phases of that. And some people are already there. Some people have been there for a lot longer. I think that's beautiful. What I don't think is beautiful is the anti-harm reduction. Like going into schools and trying to pervert our youth. Or trying to make it not American. We're fucking from America. I am a goddamn Native American from this motherfucking soil. I didn't say Native American Indian, but I'm a motherfucking Native American. I grew up here, right here from the soil. I've eaten this soil as a child. I've fucking eaten it camping. If I'm fucking a piece of meat I drop on the ground, I don't give a fuck. God made dirt, dirt don't hurt, right? That's fucking true. But I am native to this land. And why would I stand divided against my fucking country that I came from when all these other motherfucking countries are just doing the same thing and out to get us? Right? Is there some big fucking invisible war going on? Maybe. I say maybe because there's a lot of ruthless, power-hungry individuals that run shit. And with that in mind, war is a big fucking enterprise to create money. And it's always been. It's been the biggest money maker of all. Senseless loss of life, though. Maybe it's like a form of population control. I'm not going to go into all that dumb shit. Harm reduction would be no war because we know better. Because we're trying to live for each other. Harm reduction in so many different layers looks like this video. Because I'm attempting to reduce harm with a bunch of other situations with a bunch of other people. So I'm trying to ripple outward as best I can. So I make a 30-minute goddamn video on my walk. Hopefully people are going to watch it and not just balk at the 30-minute number. Maybe I'll tidy this thing up in 2.5 minutes. Who knows? So the second topic, and this is going to be funny. It's a little bit of comedy, and that's who I am. I have a planned intention to get slapped on camera by a fake cadaver arm that's been artfully decorated and tattooed on. Let me know what you think about that shit. I'm going to do it possibly on live and just to get slapped by it. I don't know. It'd be like the artificial zombie arm apocalypse slap. Who the fuck? That's my dumb sense of humor to experience a little bit of an endorphin rush and to do something that nobody does. I've always been like that, and I think it's funny. Somebody might not think it's funny. And is that harm reduction? In a sense, it might be, because I'm not intentionally trying to go out and hurt myself in a manner that, might hurt myself bad. And tattoos are a form of harm. They're like a form of self-harm, but then they're also a form of self-harm with a beautiful outlook, like to decorate my body. So, if I love art, and I'm an artist, and I express myself from the inside out with beauty, then that's the true thing. It's truth emanating outward. It's light and love coming from within, spilling forth. And I have such a high level of that to share with the world. I don't think my cup will ever run out. It's so full all the time. I get a little bit of a jack-up boost. It's worse. Just thank God that you're not around me 24/7, right? I mean, could you picture having something like this, but way more intense in person? If you really follow every single thing that I've said, can you picture how intense it would be to be in that situation all the time? Or like, say you're in a video with me right now. Can you picture that 24/7? would hope not, because it's fucking ridiculous. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stay Brightlander YouTube. Be good. And as always, go out, infect the world with happiness and love, with a smile. Even if you don't really mean the smile, fake it till you make it. That's a better way than being a fucking angry individual running through life causing harm. I see it. I've seen it. It's too much rampant all over, everywhere. Maybe not outside of this country. I know there's a lot of other places that really get along, and we should probably look at them as a model, and then restructure our society to a model that is much more healthy. And I know that there's a lot of people already practicing this, and I know that it's scary to think of a new way of living when you're so used to an old way that was everything in your psyche. Because day one, you open your eyes, and every single thing that you've externally seen becomes a really big part of you, along with your DNA traits and your heritage. But it is your psyche. So I'm kind of challenging, a psyche shattering experience. And it's a good thing, because what it'll do is it'll cause thought. It'll provoke thought. So many people get to a point and they stop thinking, and they just do whatever it is they learned to survive. And I'm challenging everybody to not be surviving as much as effortlessly floating in the sea versus trying to fucking not drown. So, let's go. Smile. I mean, I'm really actually happy, but I'm having a hard time forcing a smile, so it's ridiculous, guys. I love you all. Stay tuned. I'm going to be releasing videos every day. It's just part of a plan, and I have a lot going on in my head. So I'm letting it out this way. I love you all. Be good. Bye.